It's like you have a plant or you planted a seed, right? And you've been watering it, you've been applying fertilizer or manure, you've been weeding it, and yet it seems nothing is happening. The plant is not coming out, and you're just like, what's going on? But you don't know that on the ground, it's growing roots, it's growing deep. But because you can't see it, it seems like nothing is going on. So we've been studying Exodus, right? When we're studying the plagues, God sent Moses to Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh refused. He sent the first plague. Pharaoh still refused. But something had happened. He sent the second plague. Pharaoh refused. He sent the third plague. Pharaoh refused. But the plagues were weakening the resolve of Pharaoh little by little. He sent the fourth plague, sent the fifth plague, the seventh plague, the 10th plague. After the 10th plague, his resolve had been broken and the land of Egypt destroyed. And then they left. Then they left. But it took 10 plagues. And with each of those plagues, they were getting closer to their exodus, to their exit, to their prayers being answered. But it took 10 plagues. So it was encouraging for them to keep praying because they could literally see the plagues. They could see the plagues, they could see the water turn to blood, they could see the frogs, they could see the flies. So even though they hadn't left, it was clear that something is happening and very soon will go. So it encouraged them to keep praying because why? They could see. But we fight a spiritual battle. So you have been praying and nothing is happening physically. But in the realm of the spirit, God is plaguing your Pharaoh. You prayed for the first month and you say, "God, this situation got worse." But you don't know that God just turned the river to blood. Because you don't see it, it now looks like nothing's happened. You've prayed for 2 years and you're like, "God, I'm so tired, my strength is weak." But you've gotten to your sixth plague in the realm of the spirit. So you have to keep praying. They could see it because they had physical things. They fought physical battles. We don't. So sometimes you're at your seventh plague. You're at your eighth plague. You're at your ninth plague. It's just remaining one. And that's when you now want to give up. You can't give up. This is why Jesus says men ought always to pray and not to faint. If you keep praying, you will reach the 10th plague. You will reach the 10th plague. There are many typologies of this in the Bible where people were doing things and it looked like nothing was happening until the last minute something happened. Like the walls of Jericho. They marched around for 7 days. All that time, the wall didn't crack. The first day, it didn't crack. Not even a crack. The second day, nothing. The third day, nothing. The fourth day, nothing. The fifth day, nothing. If they said, "You know what, we're wasting our time. We've done this for 6 days," they will give up. And it will look like prayer does not work. But you can't give up. That's why we need to keep asking God for strength. That's why we need to. So sometimes when you are praying, it looks like nothing's happening. They were moving around this Jericho. It didn't even crack. So you are praying, the situation didn't shift. Nothing happened. Not even nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're like, "God, are you deaf? Are you even hearing this prayer? It's been 5 years." These people were marching around a city. It's not a fence. It's like marching around Lagos State under the sun for 7 days. On the seventh day, they even marched around 7. Do you know how tired you'll be if you march around Lagos? You'll be so tired, physically drained. Then you did that for 5 days and the wall didn't even crack. You say, "You know what, this thing is not working." You will now get no. So sometimes you pray, it will look like nothing is happening, but you can't give up. You must keep going. You must keep going. But when they got the 7th day, they marched around 7 times. Sometimes when you now get to the tip of the blessing, God will now put a spirit of prayer and supplication upon you because now it's time to intensify the prayer. Each day they march around once. The 7th day it was 7 times. It's like a woman in labor. You are just carrying the baby, nothing happens. But when it's time to deliver, you push. There is pain. It's more intense. So in the realm of the spirit too, When you are very close, you will just notice the grace for extra prayer and supplication. God will supply it to you. When that grace comes, you know that delivery has come. When that grace to hold to God for that situation and keep praying and holding God, know that delivery has